Good morning. I'm Mark Hauer, Provost of the Antioch University Los Angeles campus. Welcome to the 2024 Antioch University Los Angeles Commencement Ceremony. It's so good to see all of you. Now, our campus is located in Culver City, and when we have important events, we have a tradition of reading a land acknowledgement. And we do this to remember our role and place in a much larger story. So I'll do that right now. Antioch University Los Angeles resides on the traditional and unceded territory of the Tongva people. These lands and the Tongva people continue to carry the stories of this nation and the people's struggles for survival and identity. With this land acknowledgement, we take a step toward learning these stories and identifying ways to join in decolonizing indigenous movements for sovereignty and self-determination. I want to read that last sentence. With this land acknowledgement, we take a step toward learning these stories and identifying ways to join in decolonial and indigenous movements for sovereignty and self-determination. Okay, thank you all for joining us today to recognize and celebrate the accomplishments of our graduating students. Honored students, congratulations. You'll hear that word a lot today, I have no doubt. Hopefully you feel it and you're not just exhausted. You recognize this as a celebration as well. You've worked for this day for many months and years even, and your hard work and sacrifice has allowed you to realize your goals. I'm delighted to acknowledge your achievements and to welcome you into the community soon of Antioch alumni. So while we celebrate your individual achievements, it's also true that the success of every student rests on the support of others. Let's take a moment to acknowledge those who have helped each of you to succeed. So families and friends, we know that without you, the graduates would likely not have reached this point. Your assistance, support, love, and all the other things you've done to support their journey has made their success possible. Family members who have supported, encouraged, and maybe even pushed these candidates a little, I know that I speak for all of the student candidates when I say thank you for all you've done. They're very grateful for that support. It's necessary. Faculty, yep, if anyone wants to celebrate that. The faculty have, of course, been a big part of your learning journey. And they've built the curriculum, shared their expertise, encouraged you to do and be your best. Many of our faculty are present and dressed for the occasion today. This is one of the few times we get to wear these funny robes. So faculty, please stand and be recognized. Thanks. I also want to take a moment to address the significance of this day for staff, administrators, and all who work at Antioch. Some of whom are volunteering today, and many who are working on a regular basis and are not necessarily seen in the classroom, but nevertheless contributing to it. Their work supporting the commencement today is important in part because this is a powerful reminder of why we do the work we do. And I just want to note that most of the staff we have been here for a great deal of time. They're as committed to the mission as the faculty and the students. So would you give the staff a round of applause, please? And finally, I want to recognize the committee, Sandy Lee, the Chief Operating Officer, and also the committee. Sorry, Sandy, I didn't mean to step over your applause. This whole thing is orchestrated by Sandy and the committee that works on the commencement, and it's always a delight to work with them, and they just do a beautiful job pulling this off. Sandy, thanks so much. So, and if you have a little bit more clapping in you, please acknowledge Andrea Richards, Francis Hernandez, Jonathan Hall, and Julie Rodriguez, who are on the commencement committee. So our campus recently celebrated its 50th anniversary. And one of the things we did was acknowledge the role of Dr. Al Erdonest. He's our longest serving faculty member, founder of the undergraduate program at this campus, and in a very real sense, the founder of this campus, because he was here pretty much the entire time that this campus existed, 50 plus years now. So he's going to be receiving an honorary degree today. And in order to do that, we have a particular dignitary, Dr. Chet Haskell, the Vice Chancellor of Academic Affairs, and University Provost. And Dr. Haskell, would you come up and please confer this honorary degree on our beloved Al Erdonest?
Thank you, Mark. And good morning. Let me add my welcome to all the graduates, families, and friends. Those of us in higher education truly enjoy commencements as we get to see, in effect, the fruits of our labors. So my congratulations to all the graduates, and my deepest thanks to all the faculty and staff who have made this day possible. We know that education is important to individuals as they seek to enhance opportunities in the world. You who are graduating today made choices and sacrifices for such reasons. We also know that education is important for society, as was clearly on Horace Mann's mind when he became the first president of Antioch in 1852. Indeed, most Antioch graduates pursue higher education not only for their own personal betterment, but also because they want to contribute to the larger society. Promoting such contributions in support of social justice is central to Antioch's mission, something that everyone at Antioch believes in. However, we are faced increasingly with a dangerous counter perspective in this country, a perspective that belittles education and focuses instead on emotions and tribalism. There are many in our society today who simply do not believe in the things that are central to education. Science is questioned or ignored. Experts are belittled. Facts are not accepted. Education is portrayed as elitist. Indeed, the existence of truth itself is often rejected. If such views only affected an individual, that would be sad, but it would be consequential only for that person. However, we must all remember and recall that everyone lives among others. No person is an island, to paraphrase John Donne 400 years ago. Vaccines are required for public as well as individual health reasons. A society cannot function without laws and justice and governments. An effective society requires tolerance and compromise as a way to accommodate individual needs within a larger societal. If one does not believe in truth or facts, it is impossible to have reasonable discussions on issues large or small. The common good simply cannot exist in a factual vacuum. The brazen, continual lies presented by some of our political leaders are not only destructive, they cannot be refuted by appeals to facts or even to truth itself. Educated discussion, debate, is impossible. This fact-free approach to public life is a cancer on our society, and it is thus essential that we all stand up for our democracy while we can. At the end of the day, the only way to eliminate this disease from our nation is to vote emphatically and overwhelmingly for candidates who, as the original Superman tagline was, are for truth, justice, and the American way. Education is central not only to enhancing social justice, but to protecting society itself. And I urge everyone, especially the graduates, make sure they vote in this coming election, an election with stakes unlike any other in our history. Now, as Mark has said, one of the things I get to do today is to honor someone who epitomizes what I have been discussing, an individual who has dedicated more than half a century to helping educate our students. Earlier this year, the Antioch Board of Governors unanimously authorized the granting of a doctoral degree to Professor Al Erdnest, someone who has not only dedicated his life to higher education, but as Mark noted, has done so at Antioch. The granting of an honorary degree is very rarely done in higher education for somebody who is still teaching. But everyone has agreed that Al is an exceptional teacher in every sense, and it is thus my honor to bestow this degree formally in the symbolic form of a doctoral hood. And I invite Dr. Erdnest to come up to the stage, please. There you go. And you're going to stand in front of me and take your hat off. Dr. Al Erdnest. And now it's my pleasure to invite Dr. Erdnest to say a few words.
Vice Chancellor Haskell, Provost Hauer, and Dean Hyun. This rare honor of the honorary degree in humane letters was considerably beyond my imagination. I thank the Chancellor, the Vice Chancellor, the Board of Governors deeply and humbly. Students have always understood I am their friend, their kind friend, their encouraging friend, whether their aims were to complete their BA, seek a master's degree, or pursue a doctorate. Students are often intimidated and fascinated by the material they study with me. Fascination becomes exhilaration as they develop. Many return for more classes. A substantial number take all the classes that I teach. As one former student from 1978 recently said to another at the 50th anniversary event of Antioch, LA, "Do you believe the education we got? You still bat around what we learned in those classes 45 years ago. What was learned lasts." Some students became teaching assistants to study further with me at higher levels. By explaining central concepts to new students, they learned more. Instructors and teaching assistants should always be the best students in the class with the material. During the pandemic, I once had only 2 students in one class, but simultaneously, I happened to have 8 teaching assistants. What a ratio of faculty to students and TAs to students. Other students participated as research assistants, becoming co-authors of some of my publications. And their contributions was considerably more than locating for a comma in one of my 62-word sentences. 2 students became keynote speakers at a conference, substituting for me when I couldn't catch a flight because of a 1-mile traffic jam at LAX. It was a proud moment for Antioch University, that 2 undergraduate students were keynote presenters. They were able to answer all the challenging questions from professional researchers, except for one question, but they had the answer by the next morning's conference session. I've always thrived professionally from teaching theory and advancing moral psychology while teaching students. I will always be students' friends, their kind friend, their encouraging friend. Again, I'm deeply moved by this honor. Thank you.
Thank you, VCAH Haskell, for that honor for our beloved Al Erdnest, Dr. Erdnest. Congratulations, Al. This is a really historic moment on a persistent, really amazing career, and I think you probably had a little sense of how thoughtful Al approaches his class and works with his students. It's been a hallmark of his for now 50 years, so very deserving. Thank you, Al. Now, we'll move on a little bit to the graduates, and I want to note that first on our list of recognizing student achievement today is a celebration of Bridge, the Bridge program. It's an important part of an AULA education is the connection made between quality education and values rooted in social justice. And since 1999, the Division of Undergraduate Studies has been living those values through the Bridge program. It's been living it in other ways too, but the Bridge program is such a vital and a visible element of that. The Bridge program provides free humanities education and experiential learning for adults looking for a bridge to higher education. The Bridge program is an important part of AULA and its commitment to economic justice, providing a jump start to higher education for students who may not otherwise have access to college. So I want to bring one of the co-directors, Russell Thornhill, up here, and he's going to say a little bit more about Bridge, and just really, it's also an honor to be working with Russ and his co-chair, Catherine Poe.
Good morning, everyone. Oh, no, you can do better than that. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Great, thank you so much. It is an honor to be here with you. Catherine and I are the co-directors of the Bridge program. Catherine has been shepherding this program for 18 years and I for 15 years, and we are honored to be here with you this evening. Last night, thank you so much. Last night we held our Bridge celebration, honoring our students who are from around the world. We had students from Indonesia. We have students from all around the country. We started this year with 25 students, and we are getting ready to enter our 25th year of honoring this work and bringing this social justice work to Antioch University. So we invite you, we extended an invitation to you, as you heard Dr. Howard say, that this is a free program, right? But it's all entry-level work, but it's still great work for individuals who want to re-enter the system, individuals who were pre-incarcerated, right, post-incarceration, people who have dealt with extreme issues in their lives, and people who have dealt with homelessness and so on. This is an opportunity for people to come in and say, I want to begin again. There's an opportunity for that. So we invite you to go to bridge.antioch.edu, bridge.antioch.edu, and people can apply there. And you can also make a wonderful donation there because we are privately funded at bridge.antioch.edu. Thank you so much and have a great day.
Russell's always a hard act to follow. Hello, everyone. I'm Mi-Hee Hyun, and I'm Dean of Undergraduate Studies. It is my honor to introduce today's undergraduate student speaker, Abby Kwok. Abby Kwok came to Antioch in 2022 to complete a BA after enjoying a successful career as a massage therapist and body worker. Driven by a passion for learning and a commitment to helping others envision new ways of seeing, thinking, and doing, Abby is excited to continue studying in Antioch's Master's in Clinical Psychology program. Outside of academic pursuits, Abby enjoys hiking, reading, playing music, and spending time with family and friends. Please welcome the 2024 Undergraduate Studies Commencement speaker, Abby Kwok.
Wow. Good morning, everyone. What an honor and a privilege it is to be speaking on behalf of the graduating class of 2024. My 2 years in Antioch's undergrad program were spent online, so this is the first time I'm meeting most of you in person, so it's definitely an odd experience, as wonderful as this is. Despite our physical distance, we've been able to cultivate meaningful, invaluable connections, and I'm both humbled and grateful to be with you all today. There's so much I'd like to say to my class community of learners whom I deeply respect and cherish profoundly. Yet anyone familiar with my writing knows that being succinct is definitely not my strong suit. So on that note, I'd like to take a moment to extend my most sincere apologies to my professors who took the time to read my lengthy essays, which always exceeded the page count, especially Tanya Barr, who evaluated my prior learnings, which were virtually over 30-page dissertations. With that said, I'd like to express my immense gratitude for the faculty's dedication, encouragement, unwavering patience, and for all the ways in which they challenged me. Reflecting on my journey, I'm truly struck by how transformative my time at Antioch has been. As an intersectionally marginalized person and a nonlinear thinker, I once internalized the false notions that I was unintelligent, that my voice didn't matter, that my differences were weaknesses, and that my personhood was insignificant. Resultantly, I once felt I didn't belong in academic settings, and I resolutely decided that I simply wasn't cut out for college. So it's certainly surreal to be standing here today and an experience I truly never thought I'd have. Here I've not only honed my academic voice, but I've learned to use it, which is something I'd historically struggled to do. This was all made possible because Antioch rejects what Paulo Freire coined the banking system of education that equates teachers to bankers who deposit information and students as passive receptacles. Instead, Antioch truly upholds a liberatory system of education, a non-hierarchical, engaged, progressive pedagogy of respect, reciprocal recognition, active participation, mutual knowledge exchange, and critical consciousness. New generative ideas, insights, and meanings emerge when we engage in open, inclusive dialogue. We've done that here at Antioch. Not only have we held space for one another, we have invited silenced voices into conversation and made the invisible visible. It's no question that we live in an incredibly polarized time when difference has been weaponized. If separation is the sickness, perhaps the remedy begins with divesting from dichotomized thinking and embracing nuance and complexity. In the words of Audre Lorde, difference must not be merely tolerated, but seen as a fund of necessary polarities between which our creativity can spark like a dialectic. So instead of bristling at our differences and aiming to homogenize, I believe it is imperative that we honor our uniqueness while finding the commonalities that tie us together. All of that being said, I encourage us to not let our education stop here. With the understanding that the personal is political, my hope for each of us is that we integrate our learning and that we let it inform our lives. To that end, we can contribute to the creation of new ways of seeing, thinking, and being. Together, we can become agents of change. Let us remain endlessly curious and open, humble and compassionate. Let us continue to think critically, seek out subversive knowledges, build bridges, and broaden the horizon of possibility for ourselves and others. In the words of Patti Smith, there's no land but the land. There is no sea but the sea. There's no keeper of the keys except for one who seizes possibility. Congratulations, everyone, on this incredible achievement. Thank you.
At this time, we will announce the names of the Undergraduate Studies class of 2024 who are participating in today's ceremony. Undergraduate candidates, please form a line on the left side of the stage. Faculty, please gather on the right side of the stage to receive the graduates. Audience members, please hold your applause until the final undergraduate candidate has crossed the stage. Thank you. Abby Kwok. Brandy Lozano. Jenny Escamilla. Benjamin Adams. Danielle Anderson. Charlene Cavalier. Madison Chow. Kelly Stevenson. Deanna Navarro. Joy Jackson. Anasazi Wilson. Michael Vanis. Mary Kate M.K. Martin. Prina Surya Chand. Julieta Carrasquilla. Congratulations to the undergraduate class of 2024.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. So excited to be here. My name's Jane Paul, and I have served for several years as a faculty member, founding faculty member, and academic advisor in the Masters of Urban Sustainability Department. It is with great pleasure that I introduce to you, the commencement speaker for urban sustainability, John Thomas Benson. Yeah. John Thomas Benson is a husband and soon-to-be father, yay, a son, brother, a lover of humanity, and a dreamer. In addition to urban sustainability, John Thomas is passionate about music and storytelling as a drummer and an actor. Born in Long Beach and raised in Tucson, Arizona, he is grateful for those before him who have sacrificed greatly with our betterment in mind. He is deeply inspired by the person of Jesus and longs to build environments of wholeness in everything he does. Please join us in welcoming the 2024 Urban Sustainability Commencement Speaker, John Thomas Benson.
Thank you for everything, Jane. Hello. Antioch graduates and loved ones, would you say that your top qualities include the ability to mess up a good thing? My goal is that you leave here believing that they should. Right now, we are living in the fabric of a dreamt reality that chose the road less traveled, one that dared to hope for more. And hope is a dangerous thing. Hope is dangerous enough to stir up an educator who said enough is enough to the wage gap, as our founder made Antioch the first US university to pay professors equally, regardless of their gender, in the mid-1800s. Hope is dangerous enough to attract warriors to itself, as it did for our late fellow alum, Coretta Scott King, and as it did for you. Hope is dangerous enough to bear the weight of creating the better, but in order to get there, we have to become okay with messing up a few good things along the way. In high school, I dreamt of a new kind of healthcare facility, one whose walls emitted healing to match the medicine provided by cared-for individuals who care. I didn't know what to call it, but I knew it existed, or at least that it should exist. If not, then I hoped to make it exist because it's what my late grandmother deserved but didn't experience. It was in the Urban Sustainability Master of Arts program that I learned a language for what my heart knew, but my mind had yet to grasp. The USMA program taught me about the ripple effects of externalities. We create a negative ripple effect when we choose to externalize someone else's needs for our comfort. We create positive ripple effects when we innovate a way to internalize their needs as ours and make a new kind of comfort for us both. This is the work of urban sustainability. And yet, this transformative realization could have evaded me. In my second year of the program, I became frustrated as my life became busier and my graduation date became distant. It makes more sense to keep our expenses low and not finish, I thought to myself. But hope is also dangerous enough to look fear in the face and turn it into confidence. My wife and soul partner reminded me of the good I'd already experienced from the program and the better I was hoping for. Because of her, I'm here to share this with you today. Had I settled for the good of my comfort, I may have never discovered that my hope for a new kind of healthcare facility has a name: evidence-based design. It turns out that walls can help us heal if they have a window. And while I think we can all agree that a wall is a good thing, I hope that you, class of 2024, and all present, can recognize the power in you to mess up a good thing for the better of those around you. Thank you.
At this time, we will announce the names of the Urban Sustainability and Antioch University Online Masters Class of 2024 who are participating in today's ceremony. Please refer to the ceremony program for specific degree recognition. Candidates, please form a line on the left side of the stage. Faculty, please gather on the right side of the stage to receive the graduates. Audience members, please hold your applause until the final candidate has crossed the stage. Thank you. Taylor Rose. John Thomas Benson. Catherine G. Murillo Todd. Caden Cathers. Erica Montgomery. Alfredo Estrada. Congratulations to the Urban Sustainability and Antioch University online class of 2024.
Hello. My name is Lisa Lacascio Nighthawk, and I'm the chair of the Creative Writing Department. I just want to say I love graduations. I have no phase. I'm always enchanted anew. It is such a beautiful and hopeful event and time that we get to spend together. And I want to echo something that Provost Hauer said at the beginning of the ceremony, which is that there are so many people who helped us all get here today, and that's not just the graduates, that's everybody here. And I want to recognize all of those people, especially caregivers, whose work so often goes unrecognized. Thank you. Thank you from me personally to the people who care for my child, who make it possible for me to be the chair of this department. So, with no further ado, I'm very pleased to introduce the 2024 Creative Writing Commencement speaker, Alexis Garcia. Alexis Garcia is a first-generation college graduate and community college alumna. She teaches composition and creative writing at Pasadena City College. Her MFA in creative writing will be her second master's degree. In addition to her studies, Alexis has attended VONA, Tin House, and the Community of Writers as a recipient of the Encinas Scholarship. She is currently working on her novel and lives in Southern California with her partner and their 2 dogs, Tater Tot and French Fry. Please welcome the 2024 commencement speaker for the Creative Writing Department, Alexis Garcia.
Thank you, Lisa. I love to include my dogs' names whenever I get the chance. So. Good morning, graduates, family, faculty, and friends. It's bewildering to be up on the stage talking to you all in a cap and gown and saying goodbye to a vibrant MFA cohort full of brilliant and creative people I've had the pleasure of knowing for the past 2 years. Our time here at Antioch may be finished, but really we have just begun. But what does that mean for us? What does that mean for our writing? What do we do with this man-made thing called a graduate degree? And what do we do now in terms of landing a money-making career? Whenever I'm in doubt, I turn to the words of a wise man. Tupac Shakur once said, "It takes skills to be real." And that's what we are. We're the real ones for getting a graduate degree in creative writing. We're the real ones for pursuing something meaningful to us that doesn't make sense for many. We're the real ones for believing our writing can uplift humanity while dismantling the systems that cage it. Yes, we do that every day when we choose to write. When we think no one is listening, we choose to write. When we think no one cares, we choose to write. When we think there is no hope and the world is a total sinkhole, we still choose to write. And what can be realer than that? Now, don't get it twisted. Being real isn't something academia provides its students and faculty. In fact, academia does quite the opposite. It strips us from our realness and trains us, demands us to conform to the status quo, to be silent during times of destruction to the innocent, to ignore what is happening outside of ourselves by competing with one another for the same awards, conferences, publications, and job positions because, God forbid, we all win. We start to treat life like a race and forget to be real. You might feel some anger or even confusion as to why I am saying all this. Don't worry, I'm angry and confused too. But like Tupac also once said, out of anger comes controversy, out of controversy comes conversation, and out of conversation comes action. And writing is the bravest act of all. It is the realest calling we have, and we all know it. It's the pull that brought us into this incredible program in the first place, and it doesn't make sense. Yet our time here brought us so much confidence, community, and even joy in a chaotic world that desperately craves meaning. But we found our meaning, and we must protect that truth because the world will tell us that we haven't. Tupac said, "It takes skill to be real, time to heal each other." And that's what we must do. Writing creates healing. Our journey may have just begun, and whatever direction life takes us, we must heal ourselves and each other every moment of the process. Congratulations to the MFA graduates. May we always choose writing because there is no one realer than a writer.
At this time, we will announce the names of the creative writing class of 2024 who are participating in today's ceremony. Creative writing candidates, please form a line on the left side of the stage. Faculty, please gather on the right side of the stage to receive the graduates. Audience members, please hold your applause until the final creative writing candidate has crossed the stage. Thank you. Sanaz Tamjidi. Aaron James. Joshua Levine. Beth Dewey. Megan McGuire. Nikki Munoz. Tina Foster. Alexis Angelica Garcia. Carrie Lynn Hawthorne. Magella Pinto. Sunny Lynn Foley. Elise Jackson Williams. I'm going to insert something, and I will say your name. Taylor Rose. Michelle Hampton. Gretchen Klopfer Wing. Ian David Rodriguez. Courtney Hayes Armstrong. Congratulations to the creative writing class of 2024.
I think it's still morning, so good morning, everybody. Good to see such a good-looking and happy crowd gathered for this occasion. My name is David Tripp, and I serve as a core faculty member in the Undergraduate School of Studies, a longtime faculty member. And in that role, I've always tried to help my students set their experience in the context of history, all the things that are going on. And in that role, I have a quick thing to say. Just a reminder that war is an attempt by lazy minds and withered hearts to eliminate the complexities of reality. Peace contains multitudes, and hate is a failure of imagination. I am also, thank you. I'm also here in a more performative role as the chair of the Antioch, Los Angeles Faculty Assembly. And in that role, part of my duty is to begin the process of the actual conferral of your degrees. Will the candidates for the degrees of Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Science, Master of Arts, Master of Health Services Administration, Master of Business Administration, Master of Fine Arts, all please rise and be recognized. And Provost Hauer, on behalf of the faculty, I present to you for appropriate recognition the candidates for the degrees of Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Science, Master of Arts, Master of Health Services, Master of Business Administration, and Master of Fine Arts. Thank you, Dr. Hauer.
Upon the recommendation of the faculty of Antioch University, Los Angeles, and by the authority vested in me by the Board of Governors of Antioch University, I hereby confer upon you the degree of Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Science, Master of Arts, Master of Health Services Administration, Master of Business Administration, and Master of Fine Arts with all the rights, honors, and responsibilities pertaining thereto. Graduates, you may move your tassel from right to left. So this is an important moment. You've now crossed a certain threshold. The ceremony's not completely over, however. There's a small part left. We have a tradition of providing a charge to all the new graduates. You're part of a long history, graduates, and I want to take a moment to share some of the origin story of Antioch University, because it also connects to the present. Antioch College was established in Ohio in 1852. Though it may seem a long time ago and far away, elements of that period seem kind of familiar right now. This was prior to the Civil War, and our country had been deeply divided politically and regionally for decades. Political intimidation and violence was endemic. Cruelty and hate associated with slavery permeated public discourse and action. The Senate was the scene of a violent attack on a prominent senator by a congressional colleague wielding a walking cane. And the Supreme Court decisions of the time often exacerbated the divisions. So Antioch College was founded in that context, and its first president, Horace Mann, who was a prominent abolitionist, congressman from Massachusetts, and leader of the national movement to establish public education, was aware of these trends, that context, of course, when he founded the institution. Mann believed that education must not be for an elite few, and at the time it mostly was. He understood that a democratic society required broad, active engagement of an educated and diverse citizenry. With Mann's guiding vision, the college opened in 1852 with a faculty of both male and female professors, the first institution of higher learning to do so. And in that first year, Antioch's preparatory school also enrolled both black and white students. Now, this was the context Mann was in, and the graduates were in when he provided a particularly important charge to the graduating class of 1859. Remember, at that point, we're only months away from the Civil War, so it's a very divided country. His final address, Mann challenged the students to win some victory for humanity. win some victory for humanity. You're part of that tradition, and man's call is as relevant and resonates as much today. Now, over 50 years after man's invocation, John Dewey, an American philosopher and educational reformer like Mann, wrote, "Democracy must be reborn in each generation, and education is its midwife." Mann and then Dewey remind us that a central task of our society is to recommit to its highest ideals on behalf of a better, shared future for the common good. We may reimagine and commit to a better world and a better way of organizing our society and planet to be sustainable, equitable, and life-enriching. I'm confident you, as Antiochians, have much to offer this better future for the common good. Whatever your path, whether as a teacher, a therapist, a manager, a writer, a community activist, or something altogether different, I know you will find your authentic way to address the injustice and the inequalities that diminish us individually and divide us from each other. I encourage you to continue to hone your critical thinking skills and reflective practice to deepen your capacity for compassion and connection with others. Be an active and conscious agent of change in all that you do. Thank you, finally, graduates, and welcome to the Antioch alumni community. You are automatically life members. We're strengthened by your addition to our community. And I want to thank the audience for participating in this, the 2024 Los Angeles campus graduation ceremony. It's been an honor being with you, and I hope you're not too fried by the sun. I recognize some of you are out here. Please, as soon as we're finished, I hope you'll greet your graduates, enjoy some time having some refreshment, and also get in the shade. And please join us again, and maybe at some future graduation ceremony. It's been an honor. Thank you so much. Folks, sorry, I did say a little while ago, it's live and we're still learning, right? We do have one more graduate who is walking the stage, and so could you give them a really loud round of applause?
Graduating with her Master's of Human Services Administration, Amanda Alvarado.
Thank you. Okay, folks, thanks. Celebrate, enjoy.